For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's take a look at what I'm all betting on with regards to this baseball slate for Wednesday, and it's all brought to you by G-Bank. Over at G-Bank, you want to sign up for that G-Bank Visa Signature Card because most credit cards, they treat sportsbook and gaming transactions as cash advances, and that costs you in terms of some big fees. Even when you put your own money on the card, G-Bank treats them like gaming transactions as purchases, so you're able to save up to 3 to 5% on those cash advance fees that typically are less than savory. Also with G-Bank, you're earning 1% cash back on all eligible sportsbook and gaming transactions and 2% cash back on all of the other rewards purchases that are eligible. Apply now over at VSiN.com/GBank. That is VSIN.com/GBank. And how about if we dive in on a game that we were supposed to get on Tuesday? We were supposed to get another game on Monday. They're going to be wrapping up the game that started on Monday on Wednesday. And then the later game on Wednesday is going to be involving the Guardians and the Minnesota Twins with Chris Paddack and Gavin Williams, the expected starters for Tuesday, going on Wednesday. And now a lot of books are starting to restore this line, and it's pretty much where it was taken off the board when this game was postponed on Tuesday. The Twins in that neighborhood about -110, -115 favorites. Total on this game is 7.5, and very clear for me. I'm going to be looking at the Twins. I'd be willing to go up to -130 on this money line. I like the way that Chris Paddack has been able to go out there, give up about 5 total runs over the course of his last 4 starts. Was a very shaky start to the season for him. Not necessarily a high-octane swing and miss guy. And for Gavin Williams, he hasn't been able to get a lot of strikeouts either, and he's giving up right around 5 walks per 9 innings. Like, this is a Cleveland Guardians bullpen that last year was so good too. This year they're in the bottom half of the big leagues in terms of their bullpen ERA. Emmanuel Clase has just been completely lost this season. You've had a couple of injuries. Paul Sewald was the guy that they were banking on, which I don't know why they were banking on Paul Sewald. I've never been a stan of his or anything like that. They've been able to have Cade Smith, Hunter Gaddis be good in that bullpen, but right past that, not a lot. And then the bottom of the lineup for the Cleveland Guardians is very much a concern because in the top half with regards to someone like Stephen Kwan hitting above a 300, you've been able to get really good production as well out of Jose Ramirez recently. He's riding a nice hitting streak, so shout out to him. But that said, when you go into the bottom of the lineup and you're looking at a guy like a Brian Rocchio, Bo Naylor, John Kenzie Noel, these guys hitting below the Mendoza line of 200, that just makes it very top heavy. That means that a pitcher is really able to pitch around some of these guys as well. And then for the Minnesota Twins, they've been dealing with Byron Buxton being on the 7-day IL. He had that collision in that series against the Baltimore Orioles, so we're going to get to them in a second. But I mean, even with him out, this team has still been able to generate some nice power with Trevor Larnach being able to step up. Carlos Correa has still been rough for this team this season. He's been hitting below a 240 with regards to his average, not necessarily a lot of power, but you've had some of these more ancillary guys be able to mix and match, be able to step up, and what has been big for the Twins as well. Top 3 team right now in terms of bullpen ERA. Danny Colum has yet to allow a run in this bullpen. He has been tremendous, and I still believe that Yohan Duran is one of the best closers that you're going to find in all of baseball. So I do like the Minnesota Twins on the money line, and think that this total's a little bit too low with the way that the Guardians bullpen has been operating, especially with this being, keep in mind, a game that's going to be played after that suspended game. So you've got 6+ innings of bullpen use that is going to be happening out there as well. So I do like this total over, and I do like the Minnesota Twins on the money line. Promised you guys that I would get to the Baltimore Orioles, and it's a dumpster fire right now, and I just can't explain why they're still being priced the way that they are. The Brewers are only -118 to -125 favorites against an Orioles team that's now 15-32, and since they can their manager, they've won as many games as Greg Peterson. And Greg Peterson does not have an MLB team, so that's not great to say the least. And Tomoyuki Sugano, I mean, while his ERA is right around about a 3.1 for Sugano, he's been posting up a fielding independent of more around a 4.9 because he just gives up a lot of general contact. He only gets 5 strikeouts per 9 innings, 1.5 home runs allowed per 9 innings. Now, Chad Patrick, not necessarily some sort of strikeout artist. He's only been able to get around 7 strikeouts per 9 innings, posting up a nearly 3 ERA as a starter. He had that one long relief appearance against the New York Yankees to begin the season. That was a little bit less than tremendous, but I do think that he's going to be able to go out, give you a nice performance here for the Milwaukee Brewers, and I do think that both of these teams get a little bit of offense generated, despite the fact that for Baltimore, about 3.7 runs per game away from home thus far this season. But I do think that both of these pitchers, with the way that they give up general contact, going to be able to get you to the over. But I do like the Brewers in this spot on the money line. One other play that I really do like for this card as well, I think that you've got a very interesting dynamic with regards to what we're going to be getting out there with a game that we were talking about with Scott Spritzer, the Rangers and the New York Yankees, just being able to get Jacob deGrom at even money against Ryan Yarbrough. Again, it sounds very simple, but with Ryan Yarbrough, 3.70 ERA, fielding independent that's more than a full point higher than that. You've got a guy in deGrom who's been rounding into form. He's given up 4 runs in his last 4 starts. I think that he finds a way to be able to get the job down here for a Rangers team that's been leaving something to be desired, to say the least, with regards to that offense. And I know that Scott was also talking about that Seattle Mariners run line. That's another one that I am on as well. And I do like that total over as well. I think that Shane Smith is going to be experiencing just a little bit of regression, and we've got ourselves all 30 teams in action in terms of baseball. We've got some NHL playoff action. We've got ourselves some NBA playoff action, and we've got you covered here on VSiN all throughout the day.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.